He didn't repeal and replace Obamacare with a Republican Congress when he said he would. He added $6 trillion to the national debt. He didn't build the wall in Mexico. He built 47 miles of wall. And guess what? We paid for every nickel of it. We got off the first peso from Mexico. And so when you look at the ways that he failed us, not even talking about his personal conduct, as a president, how he failed us, he abandoned me.
All right.
Look, I think that if you're gonna try to take out Donald Trump, this is the way that you should try to do it. He's not even focusing on the personal conduct because he knows that the MAGA people don't care about that. He's focusing on the area that maybe they might, which is pointing out he made significant specific promises. He had 4 years to deliver on them. He did not, in fact, deliver on them. He was a failure from the standards that he laid out. Now, I don't know that that's gonna get through to a lot of them because they have been trained to believe that anyone attacking Donald Trump is obviously the deep state. And we're gonna see if Donald Trump's defense against Chris Christie is successful. He immediately kept it above board and on substance, saying sloppy Chris Christie, who's polling at 1% and blah, 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 stated that I only built 47 miles of border wall, knowing that the actual number is 463 miles. This does not include many miles that we fixed or renovated and blah, 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 blah. And then it goes on to another tweet, blah, 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 blah. He was a loser. He wanted in on my administration 2016. I said no, blah, blah. Chris Christie is a total loser. He's a loser. He's always been a loser, which is why I had him deeply involved in my 2016 campaign, intermittently in the 4 years after that, and then still involved in my campaign in 2020. He's literally the guy that I trusted to prepare me for both rounds of debates in 2016 and 2020. But he's always been a loser and everybody knows that. So I don't have a lot of faith, River, and this is a strategy, but at the very least, he's trying to criticize Donald Trump. He's trying to point out the lies that he told, not lies that he told to like the media or whatever, but lies that he told to MAGA people. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good luck. I mean, what a time to be potentially rooting for Chris Christie,
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess I can agree with you. At least he's trying, because I mean, ultimately, I think the only way to discuss any of these things is to get down to the simple fact of, regardless of who you're debating in terms of politics, it's like, what did and didn't they do, outside of their personal conduct, because I think that's a whole nother, thing. But I just don't know. Like, I feel like, here's the thing about Donald Trump. He's so good at this game. Like, he's just this is his game and they're playing it. And so I don't know how you actually peel off MAGA people from the thing. Like, they have their man and they're gonna stick to him. I just don't, because it isn't about anything other than that. You know what I mean? It's like being a Yankee fan. Like, it doesn't matter how much they lose. They go 27 rings, man, 27 rings. And it's like, yeah, I can't argue with that.
So do you think that the only out is someday his heart seizes up and he keels over? Like, that's the only way that GOP is gonna get past him?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they stuck their flag to that, and it's kind of like, who out of any of these Republicans can you? Because I also know people who are Republicans who are not, Trump people who actively dislike Trump. They're not probably going to vote for any of these other Republicans for the most part. Like, I don't know what's in their heart, but it just doesn't. He has enveloped the entire thing, And I also, you point out you make a great point, which is like, these guys worked together. So what's the game here? Like, the reality is not like Chris Christie's finally taking a stand for the Republican Party. They keep trying to say that, but they're all in cahoots with each other, and it's all about what advances the most, So they're just seeing what's gonna work right now, if it will. Because he's willing to fall on whatever that sword is, because they're already paid out and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're all tied together.
They're all tied together.
I do want to throw, before we move on, because I want to get to the other side of the aisle, or I guess the independent side. I sort of at this point am fearing that your answer is the answer. Like, he's going to be, until he literally is dead, he's going to be running the show. And honestly, with the whole QAnon thing, after he's dead, he'll still be running the show somehow.
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
But I would also point out to people, like, they're thinking like, oh God, he's running again in 2024. Let's just beat him and be done with him. And I always want to throw out like, what do you mean? We beat him in 2024. We're done with him. You don't think he'll run in 2028? Like, he's 3 years younger than Biden. He'll be about Biden's age now in 4 years. What, is he just gonna spend time with Barron? He'll still run. I mean, he might be in a cell, but I don't think they'll free him at that point.
I doubt it, and I mean, honestly, if he doesn't win in 2024, he runs again. He has sons, and a daughter who would also probably do it as well. So there's not, that all you have to, like, look, we're gonna probably talk about this. Most of the government is bought and paid for and will do whatever, specifically the Supreme Court. So whatever things we have in place to keep, a true oligarchy, which is to actually see it happen in place, it's very, in my opinion, very easy for them to get exactly what they want and to keep a Trump in office for as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, 100%.
Because even when they're not in office, they're still running a shadow thing. And I don't mean like conspiratorially. I'm just like, they have a giant speaker to talk to people all the time. Television.
And to constantly raise money.
100%, 100%.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.